Love thyself so you can spread to someone else. Typically, when we hear one say,
I love myself,
we tend to trust what they say until verification confirms or disproves the statement. Either way, I have found that to know oneself is to love oneself. This includes the not-so-favorable parts of oneself. How else can one truly love oneself? The term honesty, the phrase honesty is the best policy rings true in the spirit of loving oneself. The world has a way of corrupting its inhabitants. And the thing about that is, there are levels to it. But that doesn't mean that you have to go along with any forms of corrupting nature of society. Some go all out in the feeling of false empowerment, of corruption, embracing the dark side, ignoring the light, and vice versa for others. The vice versa side is what this video is about. Repelling the dark and embracing the light, which unlocks a genuine love. So much so that the love is too much to contain. It has to be shared with the world. Whether it's receptive is not the point. No matter how much one is loved by others, and in the interest of balance, there's also those who will not rock with you even when it becomes clear that it benefits them. It is cool, though, because that is one of the indicators that further proves what the title states. And speaking of indicators, an indication of one being on the correct path is the level of hateful remarks made by others, along with the intended harmful actions to shade the love being displayed or bestowed. For example, my grandmother she always seemed to have love surrounding her. I just couldn't explain it, why that was. Her actions, including when she displayed unhappiness, all still felt like love. Even when she was getting on my case, it was done with love. Now, I'm not saying that she spared the rod, because she did not. But in her displeasure in my actions as a teen, I could feel and I can see the love in her words. As a result, she was loved by all that she touched, spoke with, and being in the presence of her and her constituents who were encompassed with love, of which was spread throughout their various circles. Come to think about it, despite the unfavorable occurrences within my growth and development during my youth, I managed to remain grounded, operating with humility on the correct path, though it did not feel as it was the correct path. Because yes, I have done some dumb-ish too. Ultimately, it was the correct path that I found as I ventured further into life. Something that I speak to all who listens, including the morally corrupt. And with a world filled with massive amounts of hatred, none of which affects my message or takes away from it. All of the nonsense of society, all of the nonsense that society pointed out to me how protected I am. I cannot explain the protection, and neither will I attempt to do so. Now, what I will do is continue to grow the love within and share it with the world. Because when it is my time, that is what I will have left for others to utilize and help grow. Now, I am aware of how soft that sounds, but the fact remains that moves made while maintaining logical assertion, along with patience with others in mind when moves are made, I am winning and will continue to do so, as displayed when something is needed and worked towards in my life. More is given than expected to me. One cannot get that from hatred, complacency, laziness, and bad attitude. So by theory, it has to be love. What say you? Chime in below in the comments section. What the body does, fate doesn't. What fate does, the body cannot. Thank you again for tuning in to Rasta's Realities. Check out the Patreon side of Rasta's Realities by becoming a patron. There's the $5 a month that grants early access to content that is not YouTube friendly. There is also a $10 a month that is also early access, along with bonus videos and access to upcoming giveaways that only members are privy to. The link is in the description and pinned in the first comment. And until next time, I am R. Akil Bomani for Rasta's Realities. Peace to you.